Giju was just a regular unlucky college student who dated trashy men, but everything changed one day. She is on her way to the playwriting class when she hears two people talking about her inside the classroom. The conversation doesn't seem to be bad at first, until one of the girls calls her a fool. It turns out Giju has been entering different types of competitions, which she always wins, but at the end of the day, she spends the money on her boyfriend. The girl reveals that she went to the same high school as Giju, and that was where it all started. Giju has a history of dating trashy men, from her high school boyfriend who she helped write his personal statement to the college boyfriend who was two-timing her. All of them would make sure to use her completely before dumping her. The conversation inside comes to an end with the two girls deciding she is actually a pitiful person. Outside, Giju hears all this, but it doesn't seem to affect her, because she still goes ahead to send the prize money she just won to her boyfriend. Her friend comes along and forcefully takes her into the classroom to share her competition strategies. But I promise you, no strategies were shared. The other girls inside aren't interested in learning anything, but just want to know what she will do with her prize money. Giju says she wants to throw a department dinner, but nobody believes her. Instead, they mock her asking what will be left after she gives her boyfriend everything. The same girl, Choi Marie, asks how long she is going to last with this new boyfriend. She notices something surprising. Giju has got a ring on. Even Giju's friend is surprised to see this and wants to know if it is a matching couple ring with her boyfriend. Giju says she was the one who wanted to get the ring from a street vendor, but again, nobody believes her. Even her friend is looking at her like a criminal. She is sure it was her boyfriend Jimin who told her to get it. Giju is desperate to defend her boyfriend and show off how nice he is. But all she ends up showing off is her terrible standards, because the way she judges someone for being nice is if they read a lot of books. Well then, I should be Mother Teresa by now. The other girls seem to finally understand why Giju has always had the worst relationships. She really thinks people who read a lot of books have high EQ, according to some research. The girls laugh and mock Giju, asking if she even has high standards. Mari boldly says, Giju is just born to give. This is too much for Giju, and she slams the table, ready to pick a fight with her. Their quarrel is prevented when a girl rushes into the class to announce that a senior Hale wants to treat them to dinner. Even Usain Bolt can't move as quickly as these girls do. Some even flip over the tables. Giju is shocked when the classroom empties and goes after the girls. She sees them surrounding a tall guy in the middle and leaving with him. She is upset by this, but her friend lets her know she has no chance against him. He is the legendary Senior Hale, the one the professors always talk about. A guy with both talent and character. And it doesn't help that he is handsome too. Even I am falling in love. Her friend definitely has a good taste and sets Hale as her standard for a boyfriend. Giju isn't pleased and says her boyfriend is also good too. Ha ha ha. She insists he treats her well. Her friend points out the truth to her. Even if she is wearing a ring, nobody believes her. Giju is on her way home, but her mind is filled with everything the girls said. She can't understand why they don't like her ring or her boyfriend. Because she isn't looking, she collides with someone. Thankfully, it is not a stranger, but her boyfriend, Jimin. He seems worried when he sees how upset she is. She is surprised to see him here, and he tells her he came over because he saw she sent him money. He was planning to scold her for sending him money again, but seeing her sad, he doesn't care anymore. He even claims that he wanted to return the money and speak to her about it. But now, he just wants to know what happened to her. It seems Giju is not as unaffected by the girl's words as she was pretending to be. She asks Jimin if he also thinks she is stupid. Back then, when her second trashy boyfriend dumped her, she was having a hard time. It was Jimin who was there for her. Now, she is just trying to return the favor to him. It turns out Giju has had a problem since childhood. She hates to feel indebted to anybody, so whenever someone gives her one thing, she feels she has to repay it 10 times. While this might be a good thing, it is what eventually spoils her relationship. People soon turn from thankful to taking advantage of her goodness. But Jimin seems to be different. He reminds her they are in a relationship, so she shouldn't act like strangers. It is normal for them to help each other out, so she doesn't have to give him anything in return. These are the words that make Giju fall for him. Done comforting his ATM, Jimin doesn't forget to let her know he also stopped by at her parents' shop to help out. He says he wants to help her parents out with anything. Giju is touched as she believes he doesn't take her love for granted. He is always looking for ways to help her out. She scolds him and asks him not to go there too often. After all, he still has to run around for his auditions. Jimin sadly tells her his audition didn't go well. He doesn't want her to be disappointed. She playfully holds his face and says it is the company's fault. She does her best to make Jimin feel better, and soon he starts laughing. She knows he is struggling to achieve his dreams of being an actor despite his parents' objections. That is why she has been participating in various competitions and using the money she wins to show her love for him. The two head home after a long day. Jimin realizes there is no food at home and so heads out to get his girlfriend's favorite meal. She wants to go with him, but he refuses and insists she stays back and rest. I don't know if she lacks love, but Giju feels Jimin is very different from everyone she has met so far. And now, she even wants to give him herself. She goes online to purchase some sexy lingerie to use during their 100-day trip. She is sure he would be happy and thrilled. She really wants to give him her first time. While she is doing some shopping, she hears a sudden vibration. It seems Jimin left his phone behind. Giju picks it up and sees a disturbing message from Jimin's friends. She opens their group chat, and what she sees breaks her heart. The men have been talking bad about her. In fact, all the pictures and messages she sent to him, he forwards them to his group chat. Seeing the way the men laugh at her makes Giju start to tremble. It is at that point Jimin returns home. He is happy at first, but then he sees his phone in her hand. He immediately drops the food package he is holding, not caring about it pouring out. All he can think of is consoling his ATM. He tries to convince her it isn't what she is thinking, but Giju has had enough. She stands to leave, but he grabs her hand and refuses to let her go. He comes up with the ridiculous excuse that he was just trying to show off. All his friends are moving forward, but he isn't, and so he has to show off. Thankfully, Giju doesn't fall for his lies anymore. She tells him bragging is not by allowing his friends to insult her or sending out her private pictures. He keeps apologizing and says she is the only thing he has to brag about. She reminds him that he should be preparing for his auditions instead of bragging about her to his friends. If he had any plans, he wouldn't be living such a nameless life. If he doesn't have any skills, he should know his place and create another way to survive. In her mind, she feels it is pathetic for her to have trusted this guy as her boyfriend. But the worst is yet to come. Because as soon as she finishes talking, Jimin slaps her in the face. He slaps her so hard she falls onto the floor. Giju can't believe it. She really just can't understand how she keeps trusting trashy men after what she has been through in the past. Ignoring Jimin's fake, pitiful face, she turns to leave. Jimin chases her outside and keeps trying to change her mind. Giju stops. With tears in her eyes, she tells him everyone around her warned her not to, but she kept trusting him. She thought he would be different. She calls him a jerk because she was really happy when they got their matching rings. Out of anger, she pulls off the ring and throws it away. She tells him she wants to break up. He doesn't agree and grabs her roughly. She tries to make him let go, but he refuses. In their struggle, he suddenly pushes her down the stairs. Giju feels deep despair. She can't understand what is happening. Why is she always so unlucky? Remembering all her past horrible boyfriends, she wonders what is wrong with her. Even after spending her whole life around trashy men, she still ended up in the same situation again. As her tears fall, she desperately wishes someone could have taught her or shown her how to spot trash. Then she wouldn't be such a fool. In a place where she can't see, the ring sparkles. A lifetime later, and Giju is finally awake. She notices she is in the hospital and is a bit confused. She isn't alone, however, as trashy boyfriend Jimin comes over and starts barking about how worried he was. He keeps apologizing and even kneels. Giju keeps staring at him in shock. Not because he knelt, but because there are pink boxes flying around his head. Giju reads them, and it seems to be reviews from the girls he has dated in the past. Each one complains about his habit of hitting women. Giju even sees her name there. She sees the name of his first love, who he calls every time after drinking. Jimin is still performing his one-sided pitiful show, but Giju is not listening to it. She is wondering what the hell all this is. She comes to the conclusion that they are review windows. For a hopeless romantic like Giju, this was the greatest gift. And indeed, it did bring about a huge change. Giju is still confused about what she is seeing. She wonders if she is dreaming, or perhaps she hit her head too hard when she fell down the stairs. Anyways, above everyone's head, there are pink stars flying around and some writings next to them. Her name is even on it. What is written on the pink box is even something she always says. The other names there are also familiar. They are Jimin's ex-girlfriends. What on earth is going on? Jimin has no idea his dirty secrets are all out. He grabs Giju's hands and tries to convince her not to break up. After all, what happened was not so important. He blames her for making him angry, which is why he pushed her. It was all just a mistake. Giju is disturbed by him trying to make excuses. She pushes his hands away but is stunned to see something sparkling on her finger. It is the ring. She wonders what it is doing here because she remembers throwing it away yesterday. Jimin proudly says he put it back on for her. After all, everything she did yesterday might have just been in a fit of anger. Giju asks him if he really thinks she wanted to break off only because she was angry. Of course, he doesn't answer. Using the excuse of looking for the doctor, he runs away. Giju is frustrated by this. He really remains selfish to the end. She is more worried about the pink boxes she keeps seeing, though. She thought it was because she was hurt. But even after rubbing her eyes out, she still sees them. It looks like a review. She remembers all the previous reviews she has seen. Indeed, the pink boxes look just like them. They are a review of Jimin. Giju can't believe it. Just by reading the reviews, she can imagine everything Jimin did. According to the reviews, this isn't his first time hitting women. It seems to be his habit. Giju is a bit worried because she can't even ask directly. She plans to go outside, but a woman-eating demon suddenly appears outside her door. It is her friend, Kim Sang-soon. Sang-soon is worried about Giju. Don't worry, she didn't die from your scare. She wants to know if Giju is hurt. Giju shushes her and reminds her this is a hospital. Sang-soon says the story being passed around is that Giju fell from the roof and rolled down the stairs. Giju is just about to deny it when she sees those pink boxes floating above her friend's head. It is Sang-soon's love reviews. Giju is surprised her friend has one too. She reads the reviews and it is from Sang-soon's ex-boyfriends. One says they broke up because of a public event, and the other complains that she didn't keep premarital chastity. Giju wants to confirm if these reviews are real, and so she asks Sang-soon about them. It turns out everything written on the love review is true. Sang-soon wonders how Giju knows and is about to enter if she doesn't say anything. She notices the mark on Giju's face and is confused because the message said she fell backwards. She demands to know why Giju's face is injured. It looks like she was hit by someone. Right on time, the abuser Jimin steps inside. He is terrified when he hears Sang-soon ask that question and immediately uses the excuse of having an audition to escape. Again. Sang-soon wants to go after him, but Giju stops her. She tells her friend everything, and as expected, Sang-soon is very angry. She wishes Giju told her earlier so she could rip off his mouth. Giju says it doesn't matter as she has broken up with him. Sang-soon reminds her she is still wearing his ring. Giju remembers and takes it off. That is when she makes a discovery. With the ring off, the love reviews disappear, but they appear when she puts the ring back on. And so, Giju starts a game of pull off and pull on while her friend sits and wonders if she fell too hard and hit her head. In fright, she throws the ring away. Giju is panicking while Sang-soon wonders what is wrong. With the ring off, she can't see anything, but with it on, the love reviews pop up. She wonders what on earth this ring is and why she can suddenly see these strange things. She remembers the wish she made last night. In her despair, she wished for a way to identify trash. It seems that wish has come true. By her side, Sang-soon is terrified. She rushes to escape, all the while telling Giju she understands her pain. Breaking up with Jimin must have been hard, but she looks really crazy yelling at a couple's ring. Giju herself thinks she must be crazy as there is no way something like this can be happening. Giju has been discharged from the hospital and is on her way to seek some answers to this mystery ring. She plans to go to the shop where she bought the ring and find some answers. On her way, she happens to meet some scum, the ex-boyfriend. Jimin is actually trying to convince her she has no reason to break up with him. After all, he apologized. Giju wonders if she was possessed by something to believe this guy before. He tells her he can't live without her, which is basically true. After all, she does pay his rent and feeds him. He really can't live without the money she gives him. She tells him this and he immediately becomes defensive. Giju knows she needs to be more forceful, and so she asks him if paying his next rent will be enough price for dumping him. This sets Jimin off and he raises his hands to slap her. Giju closes her eyes waiting for the slap, but it never comes. Instead, she hears a commotion and opens her eyes. It turns out Jimin collided with someone making his package fall. And the person he bumped into? The handsome senior Hail from Giju's department. Jimin is still trying to act aggressive, but looking at the tall man in front of him, he fakes a call and runs away like a coward. He doesn't forget to tell them they were just lucky he has somewhere to go as he hurriedly flees. Giju is left alone with her senior. She notices his broken stuff on the floor and promises to buy him a new one. He isn't concerned about that, however, as he notices the situation just now. He offers to walk with her in case Jimin comes back. Gong Giju remembers Sang-soon's praise for Haeil. He is skilled with a good character and reputation. He is also handsome. Gong Giju thinks the rumors were indeed true. Now she sees why Sang-soon praises him so much. Just as she is changing her opinion about him, something happens that makes her think he must be terrible. His love review pops up and Giju is in shock over his rating. Gong Giju can't understand. Sang-soon, who never ended things well with her exes, has a rating of 3.5. Even Jimin, who beats his exes, has a rating of 2.0. So how come the perfect senior Haeil has a rating of 0.5? She is curious to know what kind of relationships he has had if his rating is lower than Jimin's. He has so many love reviews and she steps forward to take a closer look. What she sees leaves her in deep shock. She can't even look at his face anymore and just hands him his box, promising to replace it. He says he knows her. Before she can freak out, he adds that her name is on banners everywhere. He introduces himself to her and they shake hands. Yeonhail is still concerned about what just happened. She assures him Jimin is her ex-boyfriend. In her mind, she is feeling so embarrassed. Haeil doesn't believe her as he sees the ring on her finger. He tells her to take care of her business. Giju tries to convince him she was just passing by and wanted to check out the toy store. He just saw her almost get hit by her ex-boyfriend. If she told him they got matching couple rings from here, she would really look like a fool. Haeil's friends have arrived and so he leaves. She knows it must have been strange to him. She is wearing a couple's ring while saying Jimin is her ex, but she has no choice. She has to figure out the ring's ability. But Giju is in for another shock, because the owner of the store denies having ever sold such a ring. Even though she tells him she bought it last week, he can't remember. Gong Giju leaves there even more confused. What on earth is going on? The store where she bought the ring says they have never seen it before, and Jimin, who also has the same ring as her, doesn't seem to be seeing these love reviews too. Are these reviews really only visible to her? She heads to her parents' shop. Once she steps in, she sees an old neighborhood uncle. However, his love reviews come up and she discovers he has strange fetishes. Next is the hair salon owner who, it turns out, has a high libido. Giju's parents come along and she really can't take it. She runs off as she doesn't want to see her parents' exes. Giju is back at school. She has had a stressful week as she keeps seeing love reviews everywhere. It is just too much information. It doesn't help that the school's perfect senior is trying to act familiar. Just like right now, Haeil comes in and waves at her. Everyone keeps talking about how perfect he is, but she knows his real rating, and so she isn't fooled. Even though she hides from him, he still comes up to put a drink on her table. He claims he bought it for everybody, but no one else has one. Now, all the girls are staring at her like predators. Giju, desperate to save life, calls him to take it back. He never answers. And just when she thought her day couldn't get any worse, Giju receives a message from little coward Jimin. He claims he didn't run away. He just left because he passed his audition. Thinking he is about to be famous, he wants nothing to do with her anymore. Giju finds it amusing. Just like Haeil, Jimin also has a good reputation. But the two are just deceiving others. She is determined to go and find Jimin, however. Even if she can't get back her money for rent, she can at least get her hospital bills back. She is tired of looking like a fool. She goes to his department and she is just in time to hear some heartbreaking secret. It turns out Jimin has been playing the victim. In order to preserve his image, he tells everyone Gong Giju was violent toward him when he mentioned a breakup. Giju can't believe her ears. He is clearly the one who hit her. The boys all begin to call her names. His friends believe she is a psycho after all. She dates weirdos. And she dated your friend? So hey. Jimin tries to make her look obsessive and says he shouldn't have broken up with her since she has no one else. His friends assure him it isn't his fault. It seems Giju's first ex also called her a stalker. He lied that he was two-timing just so he could dump her, but she still refused. Giju isn't surprised because their love rating is as low as Jimin's. They are all the same. Trashy men. His friends mention Jimin passing his audition. He has finally gotten into the theater after applying 10 times. He still has one more audition, but he believes he is going to get in. Giju finally understands the message he sent her. His friend calls Giju bad luck. Yet he still lusts over the bad luck spotty. The other friend agrees with him, and they both want Jimin to tell them how it was. Thankfully, Giju never gave herself to him. He tells them they didn't do a lot, which is a pity. That is his only regret in breaking up with her. He suddenly brings out his phone, which seems to have some private pictures on her, and says if she begs him, he might take her back. Outside, Giju is in shock. What is going on? Jimin says he has a few pictures and hands his phone over to his friends. They immediately crowd around and start making comments over the picture. Giju can't take it any longer and storms inside. She snatches the phone and sees the picture they are talking about. Thankfully, it is just her profile picture and nothing bad. She makes sure she deletes the album and then pours the drink Haeil gave her on Jimin's phone. His friends are angry and accuse her of making a fuss after being violent to Jimin. She asks Jimin who gave her the marks on her face. Afraid of being exposed, he drags her outside and begins to scold her. He warns her not to ruin his reputation. She tells him he should not have gone around hitting girls if he cared so much about his reputation. He laughs at her because there is nothing she can do. She can't go around telling people that he hit her and pushed her down the stairs, can she? Giju wants to know why she can't, and he laughs again. He says she clearly isn't smart. He somehow changes his lying about her hitting him into an act of him wanting to help her. People already call her stupid for spending so much on him. If they knew he hit her too, she wouldn't be able to bear it. And that is why he lied and said she hit him. He was just trying to give her some dignity. Giju knows this is nonsense, but she just can't say anything. She becomes blank. Jimin is pleased and warns her not to make things worse. He is very busy, so doesn't have time to waste on her. He walks away, leaving Giju standing alone. She is frustrated because she thought he would be remorseful in private, but he is so entitled. Just like the reviews say, he is just scum. And then she gets an idea. The reviews mention 2 of his exes. She just has to go and find them. She slams the wall, startling the boy standing there smoking. It is Haeil. It seems he has been there for some while. He makes a sound which causes Giju to notice him. She is ashamed and worried he heard everything. Just as she fears, he indeed heard everything. Giju feels this is messed up. Why does she keep running into him in embarrassing situations? Really, that Jimin is a curse. She is relieved, though, because she believes Haeil will never tell anyone. She asks him to do just that. Keep it a secret for her. Contrary to what she expects, he tells her she can't buy his silence with just words. And that is how the 2 ended up in a fancy restaurant. Giju genuinely has no idea how it happened. She never knew Haeil was someone like this. She is trying to eat, but he keeps staring at her and smiling. He says he has been trying to talk to her, which leaves Giju surprised. He wants to know why she doesn't make eye contact with him. His words make her choke. She asks when, and he says even now. She isn't looking at him. However, you can't blame Giju. It is not her fault. Haeil just has too many messy reviews floating around him. They are so explicit, she can't even look in his direction. She manages to take a look, and all we see is reviews of how good he is in bed. Such embarrassing and filthy reviews. I want to try. She wonders if it will be better to just take her ring off. She is about to pull it off when she notices something. She immediately stops because the name there is familiar. It is Jimin's ex. Her review is hidden, though, and Giju has to find a way to see it better. And that is when she makes yet another interesting discovery. She can actually touch the reviews. And so, Haeil is presented with a funny scene of Giju waving her hands around in the air like a clown. Only she knows she is busy moving reviews forward until she sees Jimin's ex. It turns out the 2 exes she was looking for are both here. Giju is surprised that the 2 men have the same ex-girlfriends. She is sure the girls go to their college. Therefore, Haeil might have their contact. She is so lost in her thoughts, she doesn't notice her chest is now right in front of Haeil's face. It is only when he calls her name she notices she has her hands on his chest and her chest in his face. She immediately performs a high jump you wouldn't even see in the Olympics. She apologizes and tells him she was thinking of something else. He says it is fine and wants to know what she was thinking. Giju decides it's best to just be honest and asks him if he knows Seong Ga-young and Kim Ji-hye. She has something to say to them but doesn't have their contact info. He says he knows them. Giju is happy and asks if she can get their contact information. Haeil suddenly smiles devilishly. He tells her she will have to do what he wants if he gives her their numbers. Haeil tells Giju she will have to do what he says if she wants the girl's number. It isn't even his own number. Giju complains in her mind, but she has no choice. She promises to do anything he tells her to. They have to deal with this urgent issue first. A week later, and it is the day of Jimin's last audition. The students are really surprised and happy the famous director Moon is here. They are sure Jimin is going to be successful. Some of them even go ahead to thank Jimin for allowing them to finally see the director. Jimin is feeling smug after hearing all these praises. He wants everyone to treat him well because he is going to be the next star. He gets on stage and introduces himself. Just before he can start his performance, he notices Giju standing in the shadows and watching him. His scum brain thinks she must be here to see how successful he is going to become. He wants her to watch carefully because the boy she looked down on is about to become amazing. He starts his performance and he is feeling pleased. The audience atmosphere is good and he is just about to finish this last part, except he never does. Because two girls come into the auditorium to disrupt his show. They are his exes, Seong Ga-young and Kim Ji-hee. The two girls storm into the hall and I can tell you they are certainly not here for a friendly visit. Jimin is shocked to see his exes. The students wonder who they are and what is going on. The two girls ridicule the director for having poor eyes and judgment and coming all the way over to choose someone like Jimin. The whole place is in chaos. They try to stop the girls as they wonder who let them in. Backstage, Haeil proudly holds up a key in his hand. Director Moon is angry and wonders what is going on. Giju has come to his side and tells him if he accepts Jimin, this is what he has to face every day. The two exes have gotten to where Jimin is. He demands to know what they are doing here. Ji-hye says they just came to say hi and then she slams her first into his face. She is the former taekwondo president of her college. Jimin reminds her athletes are not supposed to hit people. She tells him that was the reason why she didn't touch him when he first beat her. But now, she has quit sports. She is about to continue beating him up, but Seyoung wants to join in on the fun. She scolds Jimin for not having fixed his habit of hitting people. Jimin is at first happy because he knows Seyoung is a weak girl. That is, until she reveals her nails. It turns out she is in metal design. She filed her nails into metal claws for 5 hours just for this. The two girls start beating Jimin up. The people around are worried it would lead to something else. Jimin is angry and stands up. He asks if the girls came here just for this. He tells them to separate public and private matters. Giju finally steps out. She reminds Jimin that he should have set an example first instead of treating his ex-girlfriends so poorly. She tells him she came here for just one reason, and that is to let everyone know what kind of person Jimin is. She tells the director Jimin has serious issues. His Moonlight Theater company is so famous that information about their members spread online even before they debut. She reminds him of a precious incident where selecting the wrong people brought backlash to his company. She knows that to them, popularity is linked to star power. Therefore, he is always careful about the character and personal life of his members. She wants to know if the director really intends to cast such a problematic person like Jimin. Of course, Jimin wouldn't just stand there and allow the girls to accuse him. He tells the director it is all made-up stories. He has always dreamed of being an actor, so he has been careful about his personal life. He tells the directors the girls are his exes and are just doing this out of spite after their breakup. His friends support him and tell the director Giju is the real bad person. She used violence on Jimin after he broke up with her recently. Giju is confused by how this situation came about. Jimin knows the director also suffered from malicious rumors when he was trying to make his debut. He only suppressed the rumors through many witnesses. He tells the director he is the same. Giju is stunned by the change. Jimin smiles happily as he thinks Giju can't beat him. He knows the director's background and the public opinion here more than her. He bows and asks the director to help him as a rising actor. He wants the director to give a wise judgment so he doesn't become an unfair victim. Director Moon has heard enough. He says he has heard from the two sides and has come to his conclusion. He believes Jimin isn't suitable for his company. Jimin is still insisting this is just a plan by his ex-girlfriends to bring him down. He asks the director to give him justice. Director Moon says he has heard him. He then accuses Giju of storming in here without any proof and accusing Jimin. He says being an actor and joining a theater is a dream and a survival. He doesn't know what grievances Giju has with Jimin, but it is unfair. The director is just about to announce that Jimin has been accepted into their troupe when Giju speaks. She asks if evidence is all she needs and suddenly brings out her phone. On it is a video of Jimin threatening her after she found him talking bad about her to his friends. Everyone hears the video play out and how Jimin warns Giju not to speak out about him hurting her. He is shocked when he sees the video and asks when she recorded it. She tells him to deny it and asks Director Moon if this is all the proof he needs. Jimin demands to know when she recorded this. Giju has a flashback to a week ago when she met with Haeil at the restaurant. He wanted to know what she would do with Jimin's ex-girlfriend's numbers. He asked if she is trying to get her revenge as he has a way to help her. With that, he pushes out his phone. He recorded the scene of her arguing with Jimin before. He acted on his own as he thought the video would help her. After all, Jimin's violence is not a one-time thing. He apologizes for recording her without telling her. After that, she visited Jimin's ex-girlfriends and showed them the video. All they had to do was make a scene at his audition, and if that didn't work out, she would show everyone this video. She tells the girls this audition is important to Jimin. The director is someone who values reputation. Causing a disturbance is already enough of a negative factor. The girls are curious, however, as to how Giju knew Jimin also hit them. After all, they never told anyone. Sayoung doesn't really want to do this as she is afraid people will start up rumors about them. She doesn't want to dig up the past and just wants everything to die. Giju can't explain how she knew to them. The girls don't want anyone to know what they went through and aren't ready to bring up the past. But Giju doesn't want to let it go. She sees the reviews Jimin left for the girls. He doesn't beat them by mistake. He beats one because she is too weak and timid, and he beats the other because she has principles and values she can't break. She tells the girls Jimin is never going to change if they let it go. He is able to act like a victim because he knows they will be too embarrassed and scared to speak up. She can still remember the first time he hit her. The pain, betrayal, anger, and injuries are still with her. She never thought she would be slapped by someone in her life, let alone her boyfriend. She reminds them that if Jimin rises, they will be forced to see him everywhere they go and their pain will just get bigger. So that is why they must never let the truth be buried. She doesn't want the girls to suffer anymore and will do whatever it takes to help them. Back to the present, Jimin is so angry he forgets where he is. He goes after Giju and is about to hit her when he suddenly remembers where he is. Everyone is staring at him. Director Moon promises to remember his name. There was no chance, not by luck or mistake, that he will ever be part of their troupe. Seeing the director leave, Jimin angrily questions why Giju would do this. He has worked so hard for this moment only for her to ruin it. He grabs her violently and says she stole his opportunity. She is genuinely stunned and asks him if he really thinks this is her fault. Doesn't he think that it is all the bad things he did that came back to bite him? He pokes her forehead and says she has no right to lecture him. He calls her a stubborn, self-centered person. Meeting her has been the absolute worst mistake of his life. Just as he is about to poke her again, someone grabs his fingers and bends them backwards. Hale is here and warns him not to ever lay a hand on Giju's body again. Jimin angrily says he has no right to interfere and demands he lets go of him. Giju stops Hale and tells Jimin she doesn't care what he says. He is going to live his whole life blaming others, but he has no right to blame her. She tells him she learned something even from someone like him, and that is karma will always come back. She also tells him trash like him is not something to embrace, but to crush and throw away. Days have passed and people are still talking about the auditorium incident. They can't believe that their dear Jimin would do something like that. He took a leave of absence during his final year, which means his acting career is basically destroyed. Of course, people also gossip about Giju and how she keeps picking these trashy men. They admire her courage for daring to do something like that in front of Director Moon. While some people understand her, others think she is wrong for dragging something so petty into the eyes of the public. Giju isn't bothered by the rumors, though. The people can say whatever they want, but she doesn't regret what she did. If it wasn't for the content of the reviews, she would have kept quiet about what Jimin did. A part of her wants to throw the ring away because it reminds her of Jimin. But if she does, how will she be able to see people's love reviews? She can now see everyone's dating history. She remembers all the words people called her. She is determined to use the ring to find someone not who she thinks is good, but who the reviews thinks is good. If she can meet someone like that, she will finally have the perfect relationship. She will filter out all the trash and find an amazing man. She wouldn't even look at the people with bad ratings. She knows she shouldn't. But then why is she currently lying entangled with a certain topless senior who has such bad ratings? To get to that part, we will have to go back an hour ago. Giju is on her way home when she is cornered by one of her playwriting members. The girl wants to know when Giju plans to treat them to a meal for winning the award. She wants it to be today. Before Giju can answer, she receives a text that her package has been dropped in front of her door. It isn't just any package, but the sexy underwear set she ordered for her 100-day trip with Jimin. Seeing this, Giju isn't in the mood to speak to anybody. She ignores her teammate and immediately runs away. She has to get that package into her house before anybody sees it. Back at home, Giju is panicking. She can't find her package. She searches around the front of her apartment, but she just can't find it. She blames herself for getting such a thing for a scum like Jimin. She is still searching for her box when she discovers a mistake. Her house number is 401, but she seems to have put in the wrong address, 402, in her hurry. She feels like she is going crazy because now that she put in the wrong address, her sexy underwear is being delivered to someone else's house. With no choice, she goes to house 402, but she can't find her package either. After checking everywhere and even the little socket by the door, she comes to the conclusion that her package must have been taken in by the owner of the house. Giju almost has a nervous breakdown. How could the owner take it in without checking if it's theirs? She consoles herself with the fact that no one will know what is inside until it is opened. With that, she finally rings the bell for her neighbor's house. What she didn't expect is that her next-door neighbor would turn out to be her handsome senior from college. Yes, indeed, Yeonhail is standing right in front of her, shirtless and dripping wet from his bath. Giju can barely think. What is this? Why is he here? Why is he shirtless? Why isn't he shortless? Sorry, that one was from me. Hale also seems to be surprised and asks why she is in his house. Giju tries to speak, but her brain is completely blank. She doesn't know what to do. Hale teasingly asks her if he has to stand outside like this and invites her into his house. Once inside, Giju can barely sit straight. She's about to go crazy from fright. All she can pray for is that Yeonhail hasn't opened the package. She keeps looking around, trying to see if it is anywhere nearby. She finally spots the box she is looking for. It is just right next to her, hidden by a table. Hale, who has no idea what effect he has on Giju, is still walking around shirtless. He asks if she is here because her package got delivered by mistake, and she stammers out a yes. She explains she wrote the wrong address and she lives next door. He says a package did come earlier and brings out a box. Giju is just about to grab it and make her escape, but he raises it out of her reach. He wants some proof to know if it is truly hers. She insists it is hers, but he shows her his phone. He also ordered a package a few days ago. He thinks it might be his. He wants Giju to show him her order details, but of course she can't. She is trying to hide the fact she is ordering sexy lingerie. Since she refuses to show him, he wants them to open the box and find out. Giju is about to die of embarrassment. She tries to stop Hyle from opening the box, but in her haste, she pushes him too hard and they both slip and fall. When everything settles down, she is lying on his naked chest. He teases her for being very direct while she scrambles around in panic. She apologizes to him. To her horror, he takes a look at the underwear lying around and calls her direct again. Giju is really about to die. She runs around trying to pick them up. She assures him she really doesn't wear stuff like this. She just bought them for a special event. He wants to know if the special event is for her ex-boyfriend's taste or if she has gotten a new boyfriend. She tells him it isn't like that and packs her things up to leave. Hale tells her he will see her later, making her surprised. He informs her there is a notice on their group chats for a dinner celebrating her reward. She is going to be treating them. Giju is in shock. So her teammate Choi Marie really posted that notice. Hale tells her many people are attending, so she should take her package back safely. Giju is red from embarrassment. She grabs her package and runs back to her apartment. Alone, Hyle goes back inside his room and to his computer. We see that on his screen is Giju's social media page. It turns out he has been stalking her. On his table are pictures of her in various stages. Looking at everything, he smiles and says it is time he got ready. The team is gathered at the restaurant. Giju is feeling really uncomfortable. No, it is not because too many people have shown up and she will have to send a lot of money. It is because Hyle is sitting directly in front of her. Our male lead offers to split the bill with her. After all, it is his fault more people have shown up than expected. Turns out when the girls in the group heard Senior Hale will be joining the dinner, they all decided to come along. Giju refuses to let him do that. She says she was planning to treat the whole class anyway. The real reason is because he has helped her a lot. He even gave her Jimin's ex-girlfriend's numbers, so now she has to pay him back. He insists on paying today and wants her to think of it as him comforting her. The two start to argue about who would play the bill. Giju wants to use this as an excuse to end any involvement she has with him. The other students notice their argument and tell Giju to let Hyle pay. Giju is feeling nervous when Hyle steps in for her. He tells the people to stop as they are making her uncomfortable. But this just makes it worse for Giju. She escapes to the bathroom, ignoring the people speaking to her. She is feeling nervous, but being grateful and having a 0.5 stars rating are two different things. She wonders what he did to get such a low rating. Even Jimin, who beat his girlfriends, had a rating of 2.0. She wonders if he is just like Jimin, fine on the outside but rotten on the inside. She will just have to trust the reviews. She has decided that she can't become close to a man with such a low rating. She will just have to leave as naturally as possible. Her plan is to pay the bill and leave without letting anybody know. She goes to the counter to ask for the bill. Before they can calculate, Sang-soon comes up to her to say something happened while she was gone. It seems Choi Marie was coming over to comfort her about her failed relationship. Other people, however, stopped her and told her to pretend as if nothing happened. They reminded her of how noisy the whole issue with Leopard, Gong Giju's ex, was. Choi Marie says it is different because Giju is the victim this time compared to last time when Pyobeom was the victim. Another girl points out that it might not be true. She wants them to believe that Jimin might be the victim just like Pyobeom. Sang-soon is angry hearing this. She is about to confront them when Haeil speaks up. He says Pyobeom is still the same. He just broke up with his girlfriend again. He was cheating on her with another girl. The others are surprised to hear this. Haeil says he met Pyobeom the other day on the streets. He was drunk and was looking for Giju. Of course, he didn't tell everyone the full story. That day, Pyobeom asked Haeil to tell Giju to unblock him. He will correct the rumors he spread about her, so she should just answer his calls. He says there are no other girls like Giju. No one else is just as gullible. Back to the present, the other kids finally realized Pyobeom was lying. He was the obsessive and jealous one and was just playing the victim. Hearing this makes everyone start to feel pity for Giju. Haeil says she just got involved with the wrong person. Sang-soon is retelling everything that happened to Giju. Giju is surprised Haeil will stick up for her. Sang-soon wants her to be thankful to Haeil because the other kids would have badmouthed her again if it weren't for him. She wants Giju to be more grateful to Haeil. Giju wonders why he would help her explain. She thinks he might have a beef with Pyobeom, and that is why he helped her. Right on time, the cashier tells her their table has already been paid for by Haeil. Giju is stunned. Haeil not only helped her explain, he also paid the bill. But she really doesn't want to owe him anymore. When she returns back to their table, she sees people gathered around. It seems a member of their club got drunk and is asking Haeil out. The people around are worried she will be embarrassed. Giju isn't bothered about all this. She can see all the reviews about him are terrible and wonders if he just accepts every girl that comes his way. She is not concerned and is just thinking about how to sneak out of the place. She bends to take her bag, and that is when she sees Haeil shaking legs. He is nervous. Haeil is about to have a panic attack. He is sweating too much and can't speak well. He really doesn't want to and is about to reject her, but everyone starts shouting for him to accept. Giju can see that Haeil is clearly not comfortable. He is sweating and shaking too much. She can't understand why he is so nervous, though. She knows it is hard for him to reject in this atmosphere, but he should still say no if he doesn't want to. The girl asking him out is not ready to stop and hands him a bottle. She wants him to drink if he wants to date her. Haeil is feeling cornered and is just about to grab the bottle when somebody beats him to it. Giju grabs the bottle and drinks it. This is her way of repaying Haeil for what he has done for her. Since he is finding it hard to reject the girl's confession, she will help him. Now the debt between them has been fully repaid. Everyone is surprised by Gong Giju's move. The girl who was confessing to Haeil is angry and demands to know why she did that. Giju says it is because the girl is already too drunk. As if to prove her point, the girl immediately falls asleep while talking. With just a few words, Giju manages to scatter the crowd and everyone returns to their seats. It is now her turn to be ambushed, however, as her members gather around her. They want her to make a wish. Well, she can't tell them that her only wish is to get away from Haeil. She finds a way to distract them by suggesting that they go get ice cream shots. Her plan is to sneak away when everyone goes to buy the ice cream. But unfortunately, her plan comes back to bite her, because she ends up going with Haeil to go get the ice cream. Looking at her friend, Sang-soon, who sold her out, Giju feels a pinch of pain. With no choice, she goes with Haeil. On their way, he asks her why she drank the drink on his behalf. She points out he seemed to be in a difficult situation, and since she owes him for helping her out so many times, she decided to repay him back this way. Haeil teasingly says the amount of times he has helped her is too much to be thrown away by just this. Seeing him joke around again, she is glad his nervousness is gone. He is now back to his usual self. She is curious to know why he was so nervous, though. He is known to have received so many confessions. In her mind, she wonders if he doesn't just like the girl who confessed or finds public confessions embarrassing. Haeil explains it is hard because he will have to accept their confessions. Giju is really confused. It is his choice whether to accept their confession or not. He asks her how he can turn somebody down politely. She finally realizes why he has a lot of girlfriends. It seems he accepts confessions from people he doesn't like just because he feels sorry for them. She finds this behavior disgusting as it is a waste of people's time and emotions. Haeil tells her he knows he shouldn't do something like that to someone else. She reminds him he shouldn't do something like that to himself also. Forcing himself to date someone he doesn't like just because he feels sorry for them is also painful to him too. The other person is even in a better position because they got to date someone they liked, but he would be left with nothing at the end of the day. Haeil finds that Giju is really smart at times like this. She is really not like the first impression he had of her. He remembers the first time he saw her. She was at her store and he came to have his meal there. He was on the phone with his professor and they were just talking about Giju and her winning the grand prize. She walked by then and served a homeless man a bowl of their restaurant's special meal. But as soon as she left, the old man picked some hair off his head and put it into his food. He then made a scene and refused to pay for the meal since he found some hair in it. Giju apologized to the man and assured him he didn't have to pay for the food. He just needed to come back next time and they would give him another bowl of food. The old man felt guilty and ran off. Even then, Giju was still worried because the man looked to be in discomfort. However, she should have been more worried for herself because her mother soon came up and slapped her on the back. She is tired of her daughter not charging those homeless men for their meals. Giju argued there was hair in the food. Her mother pointed out the hair isn't even the same as her own. She wanted Giju to stop doing this too many times. And so that was how Haeil got his first impression of Giju. She seemed like a fool, someone who takes a loss just to cover up others' mistakes. Back to the present, Giju pulls Haeil out of his thoughts. They have bought the ice cream and are on their way back. She wants to know what his first impression of her was. She is curious to know what he found lacking because every time he met her, she was always in embarrassing situations. So something must have been really lacking in her. She even says at this point the problem might just be her. Haeil isn't pleased with her saying all those kinds of things. He tells her to stop as there is nothing wrong with her. She is perfectly fine. He doesn't want her to blame herself for what some weird people did to her. He tells her he wants to take back his previous statement of her being smart. He walks away, but after a few steps, he notices she isn't coming along. He stops and asks why. Giju doesn't answer. Every day, people just like to act like she is the problem. But yet a strange senior she just met is sure there is nothing wrong with her. She can't understand why he is acting like this. Most importantly, why does it feel so comforting for her when a senior who doesn't even know her well says it? It is so touching. She starts crying, startling Haeil. He runs up to her and wants to know what is wrong with her. Why is she crying? He wants to know if he has done something wrong again. Giju rushes to assure him it is nothing like that. She was just caught by surprise when someone she didn't expect comforted her. At that moment, a strange bar suddenly shows up in front of Haeil, stunning Giju. Reading it makes her even more stunned because it says Haeil's affection level has increased. She is confused about what the level of affection being increased means. Besides, who wrote that? That isn't all, as another box pops up again. It says there is some new information about Yeon Haeil. Giju is even more confused. She wonders who even wants to know about Haeil's new information. She is curious to know what new information is going to be revealed, though. It doesn't keep her waiting for long as a new screen comes up. It is showing her who Haeil's new partner is going to be. She is horrified when she sees her picture on the screen. It turns out she is going to be his next partner. Enjoying this recap so far? Then please like, share, and comment. Until next time, ciao.